Hey everyone, it's Justin here with Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. Thank you for being with us from the beginning, or thank you for being with us for your very first show. We're grateful that you're here with us today, and we hope to have you back on a future episode of the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Uh, we're we're grateful for our listeners, our viewers, and we're going to look at a topic today that uh, really came up with all the here in the United States. We have the American football, and uh, as far as professional, and then we have the American football, like college, university as well. Uh, and so we're just going to talk about, the mental side of uh, preparing for a game, a match, uh, and the strategy that goes into that preparation for that game, that upcoming match, because if we don't do it right, then uh, all the hard work up until now is and could be for naught. So we'll get into what I mean by that. So let's get rolling. Okay. So hypothetically speaking, let's say we have a game or a match uh, in 7 days, and we just learned the team that we're going to be playing today. So let's say on this show, we just found out a matter of seconds ago who we were going to be playing in 7 days. And so there's a myriad of things we have to look at. Everything from uh, I, I don't want to use the wrong word, janitorial services or uh, keeping the showers and the bathrooms clean, all the way up to maybe the president or general manager, or head coach of a particular team, and everywhere in between. So in 7 days, we have a game, a match coming up. So one of the aspects we're going to look at is we're going to look at, as far as strategy goes, we're going to look at the other the other team that we're going to be playing against. And so that would mean we would be watching their previous games, previous matches, what types of plays that they run, who are uh, the main people on this team that we want to try our best to defend against. And so that's one area. And so each position, usually there's, a position coach. And so again, in American football, you could have a wide receivers coach and you could have a quarterback coach. And so within the team, each position has their own coach for the most part. And that's where there's going to be that review of the team they're upcoming and we playing and who they're going to be guarding or playing defense or offense against these members of the opposing team. And so that's one aspect. And so there's that strategy of, okay, well, we've played them before. We haven't played them before this year. Uh, but I played against them maybe 2 years ago. And so maybe there's some film that we can look at and see how we performed. And so that's just one aspect. Okay, we're gonna we're gonna look at that strategy of who we're playing against, and then we're gonna have a strategy of, okay, what's our game plan gonna be? And that's where the coaches come in and for hypothetical sake, let's say your team or uh, has 100 different plays that they can run or that we can run, but maybe like 30 or 35 really, really stand out as difference makers against this team. And so that's where when we would be getting onto the practice field, those would be what we would be practicing because maybe we had success in the past against them. Uh, Maybe the other team hasn't seen a particular formation. Uh, a, a lot of different things could come into play. So there's that practice, okay? So let's say that's 2 of the 7 days. Remember, the game or the match is on day 7. Okay, so that's 2 days. So there's 5 days left until the game or match. Okay. Then we look at nutrition, but nutrition I would think would be an all year round constant as far as making sure that the food that each of the players and each of the positions are intaking into their body is going to help them maximize their energy and peak performance for the game or match. So that's kind of like the third thing. And then there's probably another day of practice. So that'd be 4 things. So while that's all going on, as far as the team on like the front end, uh, there's going to probably be media interviews that are going to take place. But on the back end, as I mentioned, I talk about, the person that cleans the showers and the bathrooms and uh, the uniforms. Maybe we have 7 different uniform options. So we have to find out what combination of jersey, pants, helmet, all those. We need to know that so that the uh, the locker room attendant or manager's assistant knows what so what clothes to take uh, to the game to wear during the game. Not only that, but if we're on day 4. there's going to be a travel day in there, so that's five. And so we're on five and games on day seven. So we're probably going to have one more. Uh, so we travel, we get there, and then we're going to practice. Uh, Probably like they call it a walkthrough, where they're walking through different plays at the hotel or motel or uh, and without pads, without helmets, and that just to get familiar again, um, and so there's going to be practice clothes that are going to need to be packed as well. And especially if you're playing your game or your match on a neutral site, meaning it's not my home team field or yours. It is a neutral site. So it could be halfway distance wise from where our team is and your team is, uh, in any event. So there's all these things that are kind of going on at the same time, right? We look at usually just the team, how they're playing, where they're playing at, are there tickets available? Are there any key players that are going to be uh, not available, meaning they might be injured? So this is all strategy, and it goes all the way down the line. Because let's say for example, the person that's in charge of bringing and packing and making sure everything's clean and bringing the right helmets, the right jerseys, the right pants, and uh, shoes, and all that. Let's say that they bring the wrong jersey, uh, and let's say that the other team are playing is going to be wearing the color white, and our team was going to be wearing the color red, but the person who is uh, in charge of that aspect of our team, they end up packing our white jerseys, and so it make it really hard to tell the difference between our team and your team, or your team and our team, or another team. And that's just called communication. So somebody has to communicate that to the right people. And maybe all season long, there has been no issues with that. Everybody's known their assignment. But let's say that there's a slip up. What happens? I don't know. I really don't know. Especially if we're talking about the color white. Yeah, there's different shades of white, just like there's different shades of red. There could be more of like a maroon, uh, red, and a pure red. Uh, so there could be slight differences, but when you're playing, you're looking to know who's on your team, and a lot of times those are split second decisions, and they're sometimes out of the corner of our eyes, and all that plays a part of our mental health, because all the way up until that game time, all that preparation from looking at film to practicing to the nutrition to making sure everybody's at the airport at the right time to having the right clothes being packed, having the plane. What if nobody ordered the plane? Nobody uh the other person that books our travel, what if they forgot? What happens if that happens? If there's a particular airline, even if there isn't a particular airline, if it's just a regular charter plane, what if somebody forgets that? What happens? I'm sure it's happened before, I would think. I mean, nobody's perfect. So what would happen? That would throw a lot of things off schedule. I would I'd venture to say that that would throw a lot of things off schedule. What about the hotel? What if what if the rooms weren't booked? Uh, or what if the rooms were booked in a different city? Maybe if we would have won our previous game or our previous match, maybe we would be playing in one city. And if we would have lost or the opposite, we could have been playing in a different city. Playing, not playing. I did mention plane before, like the actual, you know, airplane, but I'm just talking about the uh the plane of the game. And so what if our travel person, there's a mix up with the plane, uh where it's not booked and it's hard to get a plane chartered going to the location. That could be there could be some big consequences from that. Uh, and then the same thing for the hotel. So what if the hotel never got changed? Because maybe for almost the whole match or the whole game, it looked like our team was gonna either win or lose for most of the game. And so we ended up canceling before the game was over the other city, the hotel rooms and the second city. And when the game was over, the opposite happened, and there never was a rebooking of those rooms in that other city. So these things that we're talking about, I've gone on for what, 18 minutes or so, uh, about strategy, and a lot of them are just tedious things. They're not hard to do per se if you've had the right training and the right knowledge. However, it doesn't mean that mistakes can't be made. And mistakes can be made. We know that mistakes can be made. We make them every single day. No, nobody's perfect. And so I thought this was a good time where there are, playoff matches, playoff games where any, any of the games, this could happen. But when you're getting to the end of the season with playoffs and championship games and matches, then everything, it is looked under a microscope, basically. And so every little every little thing gets looked at like, oh, I can't believe they did that. Why would they, well, again, why would both teams be wearing white jerseys with the same colored letters and numbers? Uh, and why why would a team have to stay in a hotel maybe an hour outside of the city and where the game is gonna or match is gonna be played, all just to find out that, the travel department, again, they canceled the wrong city's hotel rooms. And so by the time the game was over, hotel rooms are getting snatched up a lot. And when that happens, then, when you're talking about coaches and families and players and families and, people in the front office, like a president or a general manager, and their families, and uh, it can make a lot of headaches, and that can really affect mental health because if I'm used to a certain way of planning for, let's say those 7 days before a game, before the game is on that seventh day. And if something's just off, some people call it superstitious, call it what you want or call it what you will. Uh, but there's a lot of things that can take a one player off their game. And oftentimes it's like one play or two or three plays out of the whole entire game or the whole entire match that actually settles the game. If the teams are, very, very close in their, uh, I don't want to say competitiveness, because all teams can be competitive. But if they're close and how well, players from, let's say player one through player 25, if you look at, the statistics from the year and all the games, and there's not a whole lot of difference, they stack up really close. And so it the match a lot of times does come down to uh, one or two plays, and that's even without a hotel that's booked two or three times the distance from where the other team is staying. Uh, that both teams are wearing the same exact color jerseys with and the same exact numbers and letters, uh, and all the things we talk about, like a plane could. We talked about, well, maybe the plane forgot to order it and forgot to book the plane. Uh, but what if we did everything like we usually did, that we booked the plane and everything was set up how it was supposed to be, but maybe where the plane was coming from, the airplane, where it was coming from, maybe there was uh, some nasty weather, and so the team ended up leaving on that airplane 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 hours later. And so they arrive that amount of time uh, after the opposing team. So we talked here for about 25 minutes on this show about strategy, how important from, the person that cleans the showers and the bathrooms, the toilets, all the way up to the management and the players and the travel department and the uniform department and the well, I left out the weightlifting, the agility and the workout staff. They're going to be there that whole week as well, making sure each player is on track and on point with their workout program, just like they have been all year long. So we want to make sure that everything is being communicated to everybody that is associated with the team. And any one of these could go, I'll say go awry, but it could just not work out as expected. And while I think our bodies we're used to having things not being, because we know nobody's perfect, so we know nothing's going to be perfect. But once we get outside of a little bit of a comfort zone of like, okay, this is all right. But if we get outside of that, then that's where things go, oh, wham, we got here 5 hours late. And then maybe I start thinking about the plays and go, I, I what about the plays? That if there was, a malfunction in one area, maybe hopefully we weren't game planning, uh, planning to play a different team than who we actually are playing. So that could be a mix up. And you have all these different positions. So all the positions have to be on that same level. So when the playbooks come out for that particular game, and all the different position coaches, that it all lines up with the specific team that they're gonna be playing. Uh, and as I go through this episode, uh, I remind myself how easy any one of these areas could negatively impact potentially the game, which if you're attending the game or if you're watching on the television, we may never find any of that information out. And so I think it's always good just to think about you can never strategize too much. You can never plan too much. Uh, if you have something that is very important, or let's say you have 5 things you need to do on a particular day, and let's say that's in 3 days. I'm feeling great on that first day, and I think, oh, well, I can or watch a movie or two, or I can expend a lot of energy that I may need on that third day because maybe I'm recovering from something. I'm recovering from an injury. I don't know. I'm just recovering, and again, I know that in 3 days there's a lot of things that I really need to be prepped and ready for. And so while I'm feeling good on day one, what's more important? Feeling good on day one or good on day three? We want to feel good on all of the days. So I'll just throw that out there. But again, if we're coming back from some type of injury, something that's kind of taken us off of our, a regular path, then we might want to strategize and say, okay, well, yeah, I could do this on day one. I'm feeling good enough, but I need to be ready for that third day. And then day two comes, and let's say we strategize and said, okay, day one, we're feeling real good, but we're gonna just take it easy. We need to be we need to be ready on day three. And then maybe on day two, we're feeling even a little bit better than from day one. And we think, oh wow, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling much better on day two. But tomorrow's the day that I really need to be feeling as best as possible. I realize nobody's perfect. I'm giving generalities here. And so then on day two, I go, well, I took the first day off, so the second day I could do a little bit. Why not? And like, oh, I'll still be good for day three. I'll still be good for day three because I took that for that first day I took that off, and I just did a little bit on day two, and then lo and behold, day three, stuff curveballs come left and right, and we don't get anything done on that day three that we been planning on. We've been pushed behind for a little bit. And so that can really negatively impact a person's mental health. Like, hey, I screwed up. I shouldn't have did this. I should. And it's hard not to feel like that, but we do because we're humans. We're trying to do the best we can whenever we can. And so that's, I guess, the parallels I was that I'm drawing with speaking about the teams in the upcoming hypothetical game, hypothetical match, and this other situation where the strategy comes into play. And just because we feel good now, we need to be really we need to feel we need that to be for that day three because we already know there's going to be things coming in all different directions on that third day. And this has nothing to do with anything, anybody, nothing specific. This is just a way of thinking how our minds can play tricks on ourselves. Our mind could say, Justin, you're feeling good. Don't worry about, tomorrow or, the third day. You're gonna have plenty of energy. You're gonna be good. Just like the team is gonna be like, I'm feeling good about this. I show up to the airport and the plane's nowhere to be seen, and uh again, maybe a 5 hour delay, and then that delays a short practice, which could delay a team meal, which could cause the team to uh, stay up a little bit later and not get as much rest uh, as they usually do. And so all these are interconnected as with us as human beings, no matter where we are at in the world, it doesn't matter. Does not matter where we're at in the world because we're human beings and it can impact us. And the mental health, the mind game doesn't take a whole lot to yeah, take our mind off just a little bit, just a little bit of doubt creeps in there. I mean, even when there's very little doubt that creeps in there, things can turn out differently. Not what we want and not what we're expecting, and we could maybe lose the game or lose the match, even though we felt great, even though everything lined up. But when you start putting even just a teeny bit of doubt in there, whether it's for a game or a match, or whether it's for an email conversation, a telephone conversation, uh, a little bit of doubt. Oh man. So we hope this episode is we got deep into strategy and just to share and to show how important it is. The bigger the game, the bigger the match, the bigger the thing, the bigger the project, the higher the stakes are, which means that we want to, double, triple, quadruple check. Uh, so we hopefully don't find ourselves in a position of, oh no, I can't get us a team charter plane because I don't know, for some reason. Or I got us a hotel that's 2 hours away from where we're playing because I I picked the other city because the game and the match for most of it looked like it was going in one direction and not the other. So mistakes happen, and that's why we just have to be as adaptable as humanly possible. And just remember, we're all human, nobody's perfect. We can strategize as much as possible, but there's still going to be things that are going to be be variables that are going to come in, and they're going to uh, cause us to have to adapt in maybe a little bit of a different way than we thought we were going to have to. So just do the best you can with the best information and prepare. not for the best scenario always. Prepare for a variety of scenarios, and usually coaches and the managers and that they'll do that. That's part of that their preparation. But again, they're human as well. So just again, do the best you can, just like anything. As a human being, do the best you can, and have some fun while you're at it. Okay? Well, thank you so much. If you can give us a big subscribe, give us thumbs up, like, follow, share. If you can reach out to 25, 50, 100 of your closest friends, confidants, let them know about the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. We're only behind the Joe Rogan Experience and the Dan Bongino show. We are popular, and there's no reason we can't reach over 300 countries and 3,000 cities. We're sitting at over 100 countries and over 1,000 cities. So no reason we can't reach at least 300 countries and territories and 3,000 cities because we made it this far, and we want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We love you, and we will see you on another episode of the show. So until next time, let's celebrate all of our voices and let's be a voice for us, ourselves, and somebody else in need. Take care. We love you.